All right, welcome to another episode of Ruthless Obsession. I am your host, Kevin.
And I'm Scott.
Hey, we're getting it down. And we have a lot to get into today. Just the first thing we were joking, I was laughing before we went on air just now. Scotty thought there was only one Clay Matthews, and it was the...
No.
Yes, you did.
I think there was one. I thought that Clay Matthews Jr. was up for the Hall of Fame vote, not Senior, and I was very appalled by that.
Okay, well, there's that's good stuff. You're line? No, that's just rough.
Big oof.
This is like the Steve Harvey, not quite like the Steve Harvey Miss America, the Miss Universe. Do you remember that a couple years ago?
I do remember that. He got it wrong.
He read the card wrong, and I feel like that's something I would do. I don't blame him at all for that.
That is definitely something you would do. You also probably be the South Carolina Miss America answer too on, why do American kids not know where Iraq is on a map? Remember that one?
Tell me about it.
Oh, she went into this whole thing about how, and it just was nonsensical. You could tell that she just wasn't sure what was really being asked.
Is this the like such as the Iraq?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That
Nailed
was
it.
probably the cringiest moment in video recorded history, I think. Because,
wow.
Yeah, you could just tell that.
About Kanye and Taylor Swift.
That wasn't cringy. I wouldn't say that. That was definitely not.
Did you watch it live?
Of course, I didn't watch it live. What was the People's Choice night? People's Choice 2004.
It was the Grammys for like best music video or something.
Okay, whatever. I mean,
maybe it was the MTV Awards. Either way,
it wasn't. Yeah.
Speaking of Steve Harvey, seamless transition. Last night was the Hall of Fame, the NFL Honors Awards show. I know, right? That was good, Andrew. You like that?
Good. I like it. That was good.
Yeah, it was all planned. Even the sputtering at the beginning. And they handed out tons of awards last night. I won't go through them all right now, but Scotty, which one are you happiest about and think was the worst decision?
Okay. So I'm happy about a lot of these, actually. I'm not gonna lie. I'm happy that
You only choose one.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, all right. I think the one that
we like to talk over each other, like I just did, and put ourselves in boxes on this show.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing to you.
Boxes are fun. All right, the one that I'm happiest for is Aaron Rodgers winning the MVP because I thought that he had an amazing season. It was totally a rebound year where all the media and everyone, like even signs from the organization, were like, okay, it's time to move on. And Aaron Rodgers said, no, I'm going to win the MVP this year, and we're going to be the number one seed. And they did, and I think that was awesome. So I'm pretty happy about that. I'm happy for Aaron Rodgers. I'm happy for the Packers fans. Having lived in Wisconsin for a long period of time, like it's a feel good thing. The one that I'm least, I don't know. I can't say that I'm mad about. I can't say that it's not deserving, but I am just horribly upset that this person won over what could have been. And that was Justin Herbert winning the Offensive Rookie of the Year. I think that Joe Burrow was well on track to win that award before he got injured. With all the statistics that he was throwing out there, all the touchdowns, all the yards. I mean, the Bengals were not great, but he was doing amazing things for that offense. He was putting that team in a position to win games that they had no business even winning before he got just so sadly injured. I think by the team that the Chargers who won it's bullshit.
Scotty, you are the only person that can take any topic and turn it into talking about the Bengals. Joe Burrow has no place in this discussion. He didn't, like, what you're saying is not wrong, but come on, man. Like,
I'm saying he was on track to be the hands down favorite for Offensive Rookie of the Year before he got hurt.
Okay.
He was going to break all Baker Mayfield's records for rookies.
You took the question and you made it into what you wanted to talk about. You're not upset that Justin Herbert won the Rookie of the Year. You think it's well deserved. There was no one was snubbed. The only thing that happened is that your player wasn't able to finish the season.
I'm pretty sure that I prefaced the whole thing by saying I wasn't upset about it, and I just wish that I think a different reality could have come to pass had he not got hurt. He was on pace. He was on pace to win the Rookie of the Year. He was. That's an objective fact.
I don't know what to say to that. You're giving me nothing. I've got nothing to respond with. I've got no interest in talking about this. I've got nowhere to go. You're just gonna drop a Joe Burrow dead fish in my lap, and I don't know what to do with that.
He had 2,688 yards, 13 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions. That is all right.
What are you doing?
Kevin, let's hear your thoughts. I'm a Bengals fan. Look,
no, please. No, please. Again, run through all of Joe Burrow's stats for me again, and then we'll see where the conversation goes. I think it's going to be really helpful. Give me some of that. Give me some more of that. Give me every single stat he said. Give me his college stats too. Did he play high school ball? I assume he did. He probably played some basketball in high school. Give me his high school basketball stats, and then let's talk about Justin Herbert.
Athens, Ohio. Thank you very much. All right, go move on. Give me your thoughts on the.
I'm not upset about a single thing aside from one Hall of Fame snub, but all the awards I'm fine with. I'm okay with Justin Herbert getting that. I'm okay with Chase Young getting Defensive Player of the Year. I'm even okay with Aaron Donald winning the Defensive Player of the Year over TJ Watt. Do you want to know what, TJ? Here's the reason you didn't get it. Is because everybody knows that you were just the best player on the Steelers this year. I mean, you had all the stats, but Aaron Donald is unquestionably the better player. Like, stats aren't everything. I mean, if it was just a stat competition, then everybody would be tweaking their game to just get stats. It's about being the best defensive player. And I'm sorry, TJ, you're not double and triple teamed every other snap. Give me a break with this. Everybody's all butthurt. Everybody in Pittsburgh's all up in arms about TJ Watt. Give me a break, dude. Anybody can watch the film and know and see definitively that Aaron Donald is a freak of nature. No one wants to play against him. I mean, he's the best. Every player in the league would tell you that. Nobody's going to say anything bad about TJ. There's nothing bad, other than his jersey colors. There's nothing wrong with the guy. He's a great player. But he's not the Defensive Player of the Year, like the best defensive player out there. I mean, am I saying anything that's off base here?
No, I agree. And
I think that there would be a lot of teams, though, that would love to have TJ on there. Like, sorry, Scott, for jumping over, but I'm pretty sure every team just about would be like, oh yeah, I'll take TJ Watt. He'll make our defense better. He's a great player.
Okay. So everybody wanting the player makes him Defensive Player of the Year. Andrew, that doesn't.
You can want him, but it doesn't mean he's the best. Everyone would also very much want Aaron Donald.
Oh yeah.
And here's the thing about statistics, though. Like, yes, of course, a defensive end / linebacker hybrid is probably going to have more tackles and potentially more sacks than a defensive tackle. It's the nature of the position. So statistically, yes, you're probably going to have a little bit higher numbers, but that doesn't mean anything. Aaron Donald is double teamed almost every single play, sometimes maybe even triple teamed. They're not doing that to TJ. They're not game planning around TJ Watt. They're game planning around Aaron Donald, and that's why to win.
And TJ Watt, one could argue, and I'll put this out there, but I don't have the stats to back it up. One could argue that TJ Watt's stats might have been a hair inflated because of all the other defensive stars that were injured for the Steelers. I mean, 2 or 3 of their top draft picks were out for the season, so there was no one else. So the thing I'm happiest about, it's not Aaron Donald, it's my coach, Kevin Stefanski, getting Coach of the Year. I think the only other people up for it were McDermott with the Bills and Flores with the Dolphins. But yeah, I'm not going to go and ooze all over, my Brown fanhood and all this stuff. But I think the Browns gained some serious respect across the league, and it starts with the head coach. Very happy.
Makes sense. He's definitely deserving. I would say McDermott is probably a very close second.
I would agree.
With the Bills team. I think if the Bills had gone 4-12 last year, I think he would have probably potentially won this year. But the Bills had a little bit. They had a lesser of a hill to climb than the Browns did to get to where they were at the end of the season. So for that reason, I think Stefanski definitely.
You know who on the Bills deserves Coach of the Year more than McDermott? The quarterback coach, who took Josh Allen from people who had serious question marks, and he won an award, right? Didn't he? He won something yesterday.
Jared
I don't know. Josh Allen, yeah.
Josh Allen, yeah. No, I don't think he did.
No, whatever. But he's erased all of those questions. I think everybody in Buffalo is happy with Josh Allen and confident going forward. At least for the next 4 years.
Josh Allen was second in the MVP voting.
The MVP voting. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I could see it, but and I could say I think that Josh Allen should have won Offensive Player of the Year over Derrick Henry.
Maybe, but I think there's something to be said about. Obviously, it's a quarterback league. I think that because the MVP award has essentially become the best quarterback award, I think that we can leave Offensive Player of the Year for the best skill guy. I mean, I don't. Yeah, and if we're complaining about positions and stuff, no, I don't think an offensive lineman's ever won even sniffed one of those awards. So, I mean. The whole teams can fall apart if they lose their best tackle or something like that. So
right,
unrecognized. That's all right. They don't play for. They don't score points, so it doesn't matter. I'm pro O line. If you can't tell, big O line guy.
Hey, sometimes they can't score those points on those goal line sets with the the tackle as the masked tight end.
Oh yeah,
those are some good touchdowns.
Those are good. Always look like a big man celebration.
Yeah, big man dance.
Also last night, I don't think they announced it. Did they announce it during the show? But the Hall of Fame award winners or Hall of Fame inductees.
Yeah, they announced it throughout the night.
Yeah. So tons of really great players obviously are going into the Hall of Fame. Not many that I am upset about them getting in. However, Clay Matthews Sr., we started the show with it. I mean, getting snubbed. And I don't know. It's one of those things where Clay Matthews' career is not flashy because he didn't win any championships. But he played for 20 seasons. 19 seasons. 16 with one team. Like, it's like Larry Fitzgerald. Larry Fitzgerald hasn't won anything, but he's unquestionably a Hall of Famer. Everybody knows it. They talk about him like he's a Hall of Famer because he's been so good for so long and he's played for such a long time. And he means so much to that team in Arizona. That's very much how Clay Matthews' career was too. And I'm bummed out for him and his family, but because I know they want it really bad. And it'd be different if they didn't care and whatever. Like I don't get into that kind of thing. But I think the Matthews family wants that recognition because he is right there. He's so close. I don't know. Just give me your thoughts, Scotty, on the Hall of Fame in general. You can talk about Clay Matthews if you want, but
you accuse me of being a homer, but then now you're going to come on here and say that okay, Clay Matthews, should totally be in the.
Hold on a minute. I'm stopping you right there. Andrew, can you mute him or something? Scotty, if I did what you had done for this this talking point, I would have pivoted to talking about a Browns player that has nothing to do with this discussion. Like I would be talking about Kellen Winslow Jr., who played 3 good seasons. Hold on a minute. He was not in the discussion. He didn't even finish this. He couldn't finish the season. I'm just saying, Clay Matthews was a finalist. I'm not being a homer here. I'm saying that I'm bummed.
You're being a homer, and here's why. Clay Matthews will be in the Hall of Fame, selected by the Veterans, Committee or whatever, the legacy, whatever. That will be all fine and good, and that'll be what he gets, what he deserves. When you're talking about voting for the list of people here, no one even knows what Clay Matthews did. They know his son. That's why I feel like, Clay Matthews Jr., why the hell is he on the Hall of Fame ballot right now? Look, the guy might have been good, but how long has he been out of the league? What, since like the 90s? Okay, if he's not been in then, what makes you think he's going to be in now? And
if you talk to anybody, hold on a second. If you talk to anybody that watched football in the 70s, 80s, and 90s,
right,
they know everything about Clay Matthews.
Right.
They know how good he is. Well, right. No, not right. No. You can't just be like, oh, he shouldn't get in because nobody knows what
So
what
why
he did.
hasn't he been put in already? If he's been
He's
that
right
good,
there. He's right there. Yeah, I mean,
but he's been right there for 30 years, Kevin. I mean, he's been eligible for the Hall of Fame since 2001. I mean, what the hell? It's been 20 years since.
okay.
Since
So are you suggesting that you put a cap? You're eligible for the Hall of Fame up to 10 years after you retire. After that, if you're not in, you're done. You're
They
out.
do that
No
in
more.
baseball. They do that in baseball, where after 10 years, you're done, but your name gets basically taken off the ballot, and then there's that group of veterans or whatever other counts or committee that decides to put people in, they get put in. And that's what should happen here with Clay Matthews, because clearly not enough people think that he's good, and it's not going to get any better. His stats don't just come up again. People are going to forget who he is. I forgot who he is. No football fan our age and our generation has any idea who Clay Matthews is, other than he's the father of Clay Matthews Jr.
Okay, I was talking. I said what I said based on how the system is, about the results that we have, about who was a finalist and who was not. Okay, there's a totally valid discussion about the rules of the Hall of Fame, putting that cap in place, or doing what baseball does and having, after a certain amount of time, these people take over and maybe you'll get in. I'm fine with that. I think if we really parsed it down and fleshed it out, I think that I would totally. There's a reality where I'm in favor of, if you're not a first ballot Hall of Famer, you're not a Hall of Famer. I mean, that seems fair to me. I mean, if you are not obviously a Hall of Famer, whatever, after you retire, why would you even be put in, even as a legacy person, to like feel good and remember like, oh, the glory days of whatever team? I could even get there, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about what we have, and based on what happened and how we know that things work now, I am bummed for Clay Matthews. I'm allowed to feel that way.
You are, but if Clay Matthews played 17 years for the Eagles, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now, because you wouldn't know who he is, and that's the end of that. So you're doing the same homerism that you're accusing me of.
Scotty, look at you. I mean, all right. I can't handle you today. No, there's no one. There's no one. Don't give yourself a point.
I got a point.
What the hell is that?
I got a point.
Yeah, you got to point to the ceiling. All right. Well, okay. Anything else on the Hall of Fame instead of shaming me for liking, for being bummed for one player?
Really pumped for Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning, that's exciting thing. It's it was not obviously a surprise, but I think it's pretty cool that he's going to be enshrined. I'm looking forward to that ceremony. I will definitely watch it. It'd be cool if we could go. I mean, we might have a chance to go. Who knows? But if not, that's definitely a Hall of Fame speech that I would watch. I think it's pretty cool. I'm also very excited about Calvin Johnson too. He was one of those guys that you weren't sure, because he definitely could have played longer, and he was like 8 seasons or so that he played. But the fact that they put him in first ballot, I think is an awesome thing too, because he definitely revolutionized the wide receiver game, in the time that he played. So pretty jazzed about that too. Don't really think that there's a huge snub out there. It would be cool if Reggie Wayne got in the same year as Peyton Manning did. Understand that, they don't. I don't know if he might have been on the ballot last year, but I understand that, like, maybe it needs to be a little bit of time before someone like him could get in. But that's how I feel about the Hall of Fame. I think overall pretty good.
Yeah, this is a bit of a tangent, but I always find it interesting when a player like Manning has so many good wide receivers, and the transition from Marvin Harrison to Reggie Wayne, or like the transition from Roddy White to Julio Jones, now is Julio Jones to Calvin Ridley. Like, those transitions, like especially for Harrison and Wayne, they kind of blurred for me, even though there was all kind of, I was watching football. It's not like I went anywhere, but they kind of blurred. And for some reason, when Peyton Manning was doing a lot of his winning and going deep into the playoffs, for some reason, Marvin Harrison's in my mind instead of Reggie Wayne. And Reggie Wayne feels much newer to me, even though I'm sure that he is actually better than Marvin Harrison. But I don't know.
I wish we had Nick. I wish we had Nick here, because he would go off on you right now. Because Reggie Wayne deserves it.
I'm sure he does. I'm not saying he doesn't. I'm not saying he doesn't at all. The two things I'm happy about with this class is, even though he's a Steeler, Alan Faneca, I remember watching that guy and knowing he was the best lineman in football. Like, I remember that being such a cool thing, even though it's for a team I don't like. And then John Lynch. I mean, John Lynch was one of those hard-nosed, hard-hitting, just great football players. I mean, I mean, John Lynch was great. You watch John Lynch highlights, and you get pumped about football. Like if you everybody in every football fan in the world in like early June should just watch a John Lynch highlight, and it'll get you stoked. It'll get you. You'll be watching one John Lynch highlight in June will have you paying attention and tuning in to all the preseason training camp stuff because it's just football, man. That's how it used to be. It's a pretty boy game now. It's all flash and all that stuff. Not John Lynch's era. He hit you hard. It was good. It was good stuff.
Charles Woodson.
He probably would.
Oh yeah.
John Lynch wouldn't be able to play in the league today with all the rule changes and things like that. It was a different era, and it was a good era. But also, I guess player safety is really important.
We're not putting our bodies on the line, and we're just talking about it. Yeah, I would agree.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. All right. Well, unless you guys have any more on that, let's talk about so just some news. I think that was our big topic for today. Other things I want to get into, just a quick yes or no or this or that for the Super Bowl, which I know we've already kind of covered the Super Bowl a little bit. But then Carson Wentz. So Carson Wentz has requested a trade. I guess the relationship with the ownership and the brand new head coach, not great. And he wants a change of scenery, just like Deshaun Watson is asking for as well. I guess I'll give you my take on where I think if I were Carson Wentz, I'd want to go, but also just as a football fan, where I want to see him play as well. And I think that there are tons of quarterback needy teams out there, like there kind of are every year. But I think if I was just purely based on being a football fan and liking watching football, I want Carson Wentz to go, I think, to the Saints. And I know they got Jameis, but Drew Brees retiring, Sean Payton. Could you see Wentz and Taysom Hill and all of the skill talent they have around? I mean, I'm not saying Wentz is anything close to Drew Brees, but is he close to older, slowed down Drew Brees? Yeah, he definitely is. I mean, I mean, and I like Jameis too. Actually, I think Carson Wentz and Jameis Winston are fairly similar quarterbacks. I don't know. That's just me, but I think it could do some damage in New Orleans. And I don't like that would be so much more entertaining and fun than seeing him go to like the Broncos or like the Texans. Like I don't want any of that. What do you think?
Yeah, Saints that's an intriguing one. I think that him playing for the Saints actually might be a decent fit for everyone, particularly since Carson Wentz really has a track record of only playing like 11 or 12 games a season. Like that's something that the Saints are pretty used to now, and they have good backups. So I think that actually could be a pretty good fit. Yeah, I'm it sounds like the reports is that the Eagles are holding Wentz's value in the same regard as Stafford, and that is something that I don't think that I wouldn't agree with. Yeah, and I think that if they're going to trade him and they're looking for that type of a value, first of all, I don't think there's very many teams that even could that even have the draft capital or whoever to give up that type of stuff to get Wentz, or if they even would, because I would definitely take Stafford over Wentz every single day of the week. I think that's probably closer to an undisputed fact than not. I could see him totally going to somewhere like. I mean, it's just the Broncos make so much sense, and I agree with you that I wouldn't really enjoy it, and I think he probably would fail there. I think the Saints are a better team where he could probably have some success, but I'm not a big Carson Wentz guy. I'm not really high on him. I mean, all the success that the Eagles really had, it wasn't really with Wentz. I mean, Wentz won some games, but I would put Wentz in the same category as Jared Goff. He's a starting quarterback in the NFL. He's not going to lose the game for you. He's probably not going to win the game for you either. He's not a superstar with elite playmaking talent. He's an okay, average, run-of-the-mill quarterback. And so whatever team he goes on, they're probably going to, they'll go 8-8, 7-9, 9-7. They'll, whatever. And and that'll be it. So pick whatever team in the league that you want to see that happen to for the next 3 or 4 years, and that's where Carson Wentz goes. I don't know. That's
Okay,
my
I got a question for you. So you're a head coach in the NFL. Congratulations. The owner has told you, hey, you have one more year. Okay. I know we signed you for like 30 years, but this next year is it. Okay. You need to win as many games as possible. And I'll make my decision of keeping you after that. Okay. You've got an average defense. You've got average skill players on offense. Great special teams, strangely, but you get to choose between Carson Wentz or Andy Dalton. Who do you go with?
I would have to go.
This silence is palpable. I can taste it. What's the matter with you?
That's a tough question.
Yeah, that's the point. Yeah.
Because here's the thing. I'm not gonna lie. As much as a fan I am as Andy Dalton, if I only have 1 year left to keep my job, I'm not super pumped about either quarterback, to be honest with you.
Those are the two options, man.
And I think that I would probably go with Carson Wentz because Dalton, I know what I'm getting. Andy Dalton is a guy where I would be more than happy to sign him and play him for a season, as I'm waiting to I already have a young quarterback that I drafted and I want some mentor, that type of thing, as he like a Justin Herbert situation, although he can play and he played his first year. But like, if I had a quarterback like that, and like, all right, let's play Dalton. He'll teach him some things. Maybe I'll put the new guy in, in the second half, whatever. And that's the purpose he's going to serve. Andy Dalton's not going to win you a whole bunch of games and take you to the playoffs to save your career. Okay, Carson Wentz probably can't do that either, but I'm probably going to take my chances with Carson over what I know I'm going to get with Andy Dalton.
Fair enough. Well, I don't know if you love anything more in life than talking Andy Dalton football. Even though I brought it up, I recognize that.
You did. That was you.
I definitely did. Yeah, I'm down for. I feel bad for Wentz. I feel bad for Goff too. I think we already covered that one, but I feel bad for Wentz only because it was looking so bright, and it's kind of fallen off the map a little bit, kind of like Josh Allen or Jared. My gosh, Jared Goff. Is that his name? Jared Goff?
Yeah.
I think I'm saying his first and last name together for the first time in my life, and it sounds strange to me. Jared Goff. But I'm also kind of I'm happy we're going to the homerism thing because everybody was crapping on the Browns for not taking Carson Wentz. Even up to like a year and a half ago, they were still saying what a bad choice. Look at all the quarterbacks the Browns have passed on, blah blah blah. I think that you're not wrong with what your opinion is on where Wentz is now. He is an average, maybe a slightly above average quarterback who's got potential. It's all about coaching. You're telling me if you give Belichick a Wentz, or you give Stefanski a Wentz, or you give Sean Payton a Wentz, he couldn't be so much better than he is? I mean, heck, how much different really is Carson Wentz from Josh Allen? Maybe a little bit more mobile, or maybe a little less mobile. But with McDermott, they could totally use Wentz. Like, Wentz is a good quarterback. He will have the team competing somewhere for competing within their division for the next 3 years at least, because he's that good. Now, if he turns the corner, he could blow up, or he could do the exact opposite. But
all right, how about this then for you? Carson Wentz to the Raiders to work with Gruden. How you feel about that?
I mean, fine. I for some reason, because I know John Gruden is so bought in, or at least was so bought in on Derek Carr, his it's like a taste level thing. I just don't know if he's got good taste in quarterback. I mean, John Gruden is a culture guy. I mean, obviously he knows his football. He's an NFL head coach. But you bring John Gruden in, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I trust John Gruden's quarterback decision making. He likes likes Derek Carr a lot. I don't get that. I don't see what's so special about Derek Carr at all.
Maybe.
So you put Carson Wentz over there. Okay, he'll probably be what Derek Carr is. Okay, but there's no upgrade to me there because I don't know that their coaching staff can elevate a quarterback.
What do you guys
Maybe I'm
think?
not. Maybe I'm sorry to keep
Oh.
going on this. Maybe I'm not giving Derek Carr enough credit because I just have already kind of written him off, and maybe he had a perfectly fine to good season last year. That could be it. But
I think
my perception's already made.
I don't think that you're giving Derek Carr not enough credit. I think Derek Carr is not a very good quarterback. I think that you're overhyping John Gruden's public ability to motivate and have confidence in his players as he's a big Derek Carr guy. I mean, John Gruden is the type of leader and motivator that he's not going to go out in the media and say, well, we're going to pursue our options and it's anyone's competition, whatever. He's going to be, I love Derek Carr. Derek Carr is my quarterback. We're with him. That's how he's going to be. That's how he's going to portray his support.
No, well, that is true. But this is before he even got the Raiders' job. He was talking about how much he liked Derek Carr. Like that's where it goes way back. Like
hey, Derek Carr coming out of
I think part of the reason he took that job was because Derek Carr was there. That's where it comes from.
I disagree completely. He took that
job.
That
was the reporting. I'm not just making it up.
He took the job because he knows the ownership. He knows the family. They were going to give him carte blanche to do whatever he wanted with the football team. And he said, hell yeah, let's do it. Derek Carr, he was high on the guy out of Nevada or wherever college he came from, and thought he was pretty good, and was like, hey, I could work with this. But that doesn't mean for a second that he's ride or die with Derek Carr. I think the first chance he gets to get a good quarterback, he's going to do it.
Okay, I mean, I just don't know if he views Carson Wentz as any good.
No, I don't know either. But that's what we're going to resort to, really.
I want to try to get into every show from now on.
Great, brilliant.
Good radio, right?
Me, repeat everything I say too. So we're stop copying me like that. We're gonna do that next.
Huh?
What is happening? Could you guys see Carson Wentz going to the Colts?
No.
No?
I just don't see him in blue.
I could see him going to the Colts, but I also can see that not working out the way they want him to. I could see him in blue.
Good question though. I mean, Colts need it. I could see. You know what else? The Colts. I wish we had Nick here too. They like Brissett, man. They like Jacoby. They really like him. I'm telling you, they incorporated him into the offense when they already had Phillip Rivers slinging the rock. Are you kidding me? Like they like Jacoby Brissett. I don't know if I like Jacoby Brissett, but the dude's got heart.
I don't think they like him that much because they had a full season with Jacoby and they went out and got Phillip Rivers. So I love
the which players have heart conversation. I love that. The grit and heart. Two things you got to have.
That's right.
You gotta love grit. Okay, let's wrap things up. I've got a top 3 for you, but we'll save that. I want to go quickly and maybe we'll call this one sentence. Okay, I'm gonna say one option or another option. And you just give me your choice, which one you would choose, and one quick sentence on why. And maybe you can volley something back to me too, because I know we all care about what you think, Scotty, but there's an and in between our names on the show title. All right, these are specifically Super Bowl related. So, first one, Kelsey or Gronk?
Today or all time?
I don't know. I didn't write down today or all time.
Kelsey.
Don't ask questions. Go for it.
Well, these are really important questions. I would take Kelsey because over the last 4 seasons, he's been the most dominant tight end, and Gronk has been inconsistent.
Did you know they're the same age?
Really? I did not.
Isn't that crazy? I learned that the other day too. They're exactly the same age. Andy Reid or Bruce Arians?
Andy Reid. Andy Reid because he's done so much with not a lot for a long time, and I'm really happy with what he's doing right now in Kansas City.
Donovan McNabb wasn't a lot. I mean, that dude. We don't have to go into Donovan McNabb radio, although we could, and maybe we should. Maybe next time. Bell or Brown? How about that? One of those two guys is going to win a Super Bowl.
That's very disappointing. Both sides. I guess Bell over Brown because Bell was, talking smack when he was in Pittsburgh and whatever, and he got a big dose of reality in the New York Jets. So, he's been pretty quiet ever since then. So I think for that reason, let's go. Whereas, AB just, I don't know.
Took his medicine.
Yeah.
How about this? This is related, but I would say Bell as well. Antonio Brown has some real stuff going on. Like he's got some real dark stuff in his life, whatever. But how about Shady McCoy going from winning the Super Bowl with the Chiefs and now maybe winning the Super Bowl with the Bucks?
That would be
How
pretty.
about that? And you know what? He was a healthy scratch for the Super Bowl last year. Still gets a ring. Still counts. I want him to win the scoring. The win. I want him to score the winning touchdown for the Bucks today. It's Super Bowl Sunday, if we haven't already said that. But I want him to see Shady McCoy score the winner. It's like, don't scratch me, bro. What's this about?
That would be pretty cool. Did he win? Was he on the team with the Eagles when they won?
No.
He had been off by then.
Yeah, he went up to Buffalo for several seasons. And then I think he hopped around one other team before he got to Kansas City. I think he actually retired for half a season before Kansas City called him up out of nowhere because Andy Reid likes him.
Gotcha.
Which makes sense.
It would have been cool. It would have been cool if LaShawn McCoy would have won. Could potentially win 3 Super Bowls for 3 different teams, but I guess that's not going to happen. But anyways,
yeah. Arrowhead or Raymond James? Think about this one.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Because I do like the pirate ship. I think that's one of the coolest things in the world. I wish they would do that in Pittsburgh for baseball because that'd be pretty sweet with the Pirates.
That would be so cool, Scott.
Costs too much money though. The Pirates would never dish out that kind of money.
They never would, but that would be so cool. But so that's got it. It's got it going for them. But the Arrowhead Stadium, it's pretty renowned for being the loudest stadium in the NFL. It's like it's an iconic Titantron. It's got up there with that cool shape. I gotta go with Arrowhead. That's pretty cool.
One of the things I appreciate most about you, Scotty, is you call it a Titantron and not a Jumbotron. I really appreciate that about you.
Well, gotta give an exercise where it counts,
Because it is a Titantron.
It is a Titantron.
There you go.
Yeah.
2 more. Royals or the Rays? Oh, a little baseball talk.
I'm going to go with the Rays because I think that the Rays are successfully doing what the Pirates maybe want to do. And the Royals had a really good season back in 2015, 2016. And they were a nice little flash, but I got to go with the Rays on this one.
Nice little flash. Yeah. Good analysis there. It's a nice little flash.
A little flash.
A cup of coffee in the playoffs. All right, last one. Tony Gonzalez or Warren Sapp?
Oh, that's the toughest one. Wow. Holy
2 Hall of Famers, man.
That is tough. That is a really hard one, but since we got to do this quick, and I got to go with Warren Sapp because that guy was so dominant. He put defensive tackles on the map. He inspired a generation of kids to become defensive tackles because of how good he was. Not to say that Tony Gonzalez wasn't, but man, Warren Sapp, what a guy.
Yeah, you're right. Reggie Wayne didn't do any of that. But Reggie White, oh my gosh. Reggie White, oh boy. It's been a lot. Yeah, it's a little earlier where I am, okay? Yeah.
Who were you trying to say?
Reggie White.
Reggie White. You said Reggie Wayne. Gotcha. Well, yeah.
You said Warren Sapp. This is exactly how I expected this whole thing to go. This whole show, I expected it to be you would make some crazy claim about how Warren Sapp put defensive tackles on the map, and then I would call back the actual person that put defensive tackles on the map and get his name wrong. That's how I expected this all to go, and it went perfectly as planned.
And Reggie White was also defensive end, not defensive tackle, but neither here nor there.
Okay, it is neither here nor there. I would probably take Tony Gonzalez because Tony Gonzalez made me like the Chiefs. I mean, that watching him play, he was their entire offense. I honestly think he's the best tight end in history of all time.
Agreed. Yeah.
Love Tony Gonzalez. Love Gonzo. That's it. Top 3?
Me first?
Let's go. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Top 3 best American cities to go to go on vacation.
Oh my goodness. All right. New York City, Miami, and Chicago.
Okay.
Top 3 Brad Pitt movies.
Oh my gosh.
I
Number
know
one.
what you're thinking. There's way more than 3.
There's way more than 3. All right, Snatch is definitely number 1. Number 2, I would say 7.
Ooh.
And number 3, I would go Ocean's 11.
All right. That's a wrap. Talk to you next time. What's in the box? All right. So if you've listened this far, you must, for some reason, like what you've heard. So given that, please remember to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure to follow us on Twitter @ObsessionCast for all future episode updates and whatever else we might post, sports related or otherwise. Thanks for watching.